Today we are on OSU's campus in the Formal Gardens, and joining me today is John Lee, who is the Director of Landscape Services. John, it looks like you pulled out the whole tool shed for us. Tell us a little bit about what we've got here.
You're right, we did empty our tool shed. What you're looking at is several different platforms of battery operated equipment that we have begun our process of transitioning from gas to battery.
Okay.
And so we're trying all kinds of different brands, different styles, types, weights, amp hours of batteries to see which one's going to work the best for us.
Okay, well, before we get into which one maybe is the winner or not, tell us a little bit about why you're even doing this. What about battery operated tools is better?
Well, there's actually three key components that I like to remind the team and get feedback from our team: noise, emissions, and user friendliness. Okay. So the first one being noise. As you can see, we have a very high traffic circulation.
You got a few people in your garden.
A lot of pedestrian traffic. So when you've got your PPE on, you got your headphones, your earplugs in, and you're using gas operated equipment, which can get up to 94 decibels.
And they don't have PPE on when they're walking past you.
And they don't.
Right.
So they're not only hearing that, but you can't really hear them.
Right.
So a bike, a scooter passing by you, your situational awareness is a little bit different compared to the battery operated. We have a team member mowing right behind us, and you would be hard pressed to hear all of that going on.
Yeah, normally we would have to tell somebody mowing to
right,
stop so we could do our audio here.
Exactly. So that's one of the key noise benefits of battery operated equipment.
So it's really a safety thing when it comes down to it like that.
It can be.
Yeah.
You've increased the situational awareness for the staff, so they're not having to wear that ear protection that they would of a gas operated. These range about 74 decibels.
Okay.
So they could actually hear a bike approaching, and their situational awareness is much better.
Right.
They don't get to hear the equipment that they're holding for hours on end, the vibration, and that takes a toll on a staff.
Absolutely. Just on your joints and everything.
Sure,
too.
yeah. So holding the vibration, the running, the engine that's running. So
let's talk about the maintenance. I would assume the maintenance might be less with the battery operated versus
you assume correct. That's right. So this is a grab your battery and go.
Okay.
Proper planning, charging the night before, grab it, plug it in, it's ready. Gas operated, you're mixing oil, you're hauling fuel, you're winterizing, you're stabilizing your fuel in the winter. There's no winterization practices for our battery operated. We just keep them sharp and clean, just like we have to do with our gas.
I like low maintenance tools.
Low maintenance, we like low maintenance, period, right? So they've been working really well. It's even more beneficial when we're working really in close proximity to a classroom or lecture hall. We don't have to stop. We can continue pruning or shearing or blowing a hardscape, even mowing, and not disturb a classroom or lecture hall. Blowers, two-stroke engines, they're noisy.
Right.
So.
Okay, and then what was it? The third point was operator?
A little bit emissions. Yes. I don't want to skip emissions.
Yeah, emissions.
So battery operated, directly there's no emissions out in the field.
Yeah.
Now, you can imagine the emissions coming from a two-stroke engine. Well, the heat also, and this goes into the user friendliness and the operation of a two-stroke or gas operated. You've got the heat reflecting, you've got the heat that we have to be really careful about next to certain shrubs and ornamentals. When you're pruning or shearing for long periods of time, that exhaust heat can damage your plant material. So you've got to be very cautious about that. We just don't have that with our battery operated. And the user is not absorbing any of that emissions or heat. So there's some user friendliness too.
So when you're going down long hedgerows like we have behind us here.
That's right, exactly. You just keep going.
Yeah.
And we're not concerned about the heat damage like we would be with a two-stroke engine, where you're holding that piece of equipment, whether the exhaust could damage plant material.
Okay.
They're lighter. They really are lighter. Even with some of the smaller handheld equipment, they pack a big battery. It's still lighter compared to a gasoline engine full of fuel.
So what about like, you've got several different tools or brands here, and we're not necessarily promoting one over the other, but can you tell us like pros and cons of maybe some of the different lines that you found?
I sure can. So we've really gravitated more towards this Ego brand as a rigid durability, more of a commercial grade. We're using it at an institution daily. The team was a little off kilter when I said, I need to borrow your equipment. I mean, this is what they use every day. So Ego has been the platform that we're leaning more towards just in durability. The batteries have a longer work amp hourage life to them, maintain really well, charge very easily. Connections are very sturdy and robust. Probably the lightest equipment we could buy is the DeWalt. It seems to be the lightest handheld equipment. Works very well. They're always gravitating more towards the Ego.
And I was thinking if you have DeWalt tools, like you might already have those batteries.
Absolutely. Then. If you already have all your drill guns and all these other power tools, this platform supports that battery platform. So that's very handy. We even have a handheld power washer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they make a lot of very unique tools that can support the battery system you may already have. Steel, we love steel equipment. We use a lot of it. We have some favorites parts of the steel equipment, and they'll grab that tool for a certain job out in the field. Husqvarna the same. There's a certain cut that we like with the Husqvarna. So we're really experimenting before we make our commitment, but to switch over to one single platform.
Okay, well, so tell us a little bit about the power though, because I think that's what ultimately we would get to is like, are you seeing any reduction in the ability to trim or the actual power behind those batteries compared to a gas power?
Great question. Maintaining often. So not only maintaining your battery often with making sure it's fully charged, but also maintaining your landscape often too. So we're not allowing our landscape to get out of hand where it's going to take something very powerful to rejuvenation, prune, or even your maintenance level pruning during the growing season. So they're doing a good job. And power to power, the gasoline is more powerful. The short answer is yes, it is more powerful. We have been able to continue to maintain campus with these platforms that you're looking at here with no problem.
Okay, all right. And so next question is cost. Are these more expensive or less expensive? Where does that lie?
Right, that's a great question, and that really varies on which platform or brand that you're leaning towards, and the robust, the commercial grade of that brand or residential grade of that brand. The initial investment is more, yes. So you would always want to have a battery or two spare that's on the charger so that you're not caught in the middle of a maintenance item and you don't have the power to finish. So investing in those extra batteries that's recommended, and we do that. So yes, the initial purchase of the equipment, few extra batteries, it can get pretty expensive.
But then keeping in mind, you're not having the maintenance and the labor and the gas and
that's
the oil
right,
and
the
filters,
emissions and the noise. And I mean, it really is grab your battery, plug it in, and go. You're not mixing the fuel. You're not carrying the fuel and purchasing the fuel. So you're kind of doing all that on the front side. So yes, you would see a cost variation that, depending on the different platform, could be more expensive.
So how are y'all making that actually work? What happens when you're out here? It's nice to have a gas can, but my battery's dead. Now I got to go all the way back and charge the battery? What, I have to take a break?
You're right. Forced break. The equipment forces our brakes, right? It's planning. So need to be prepared, making sure that you have those extra batteries that are charged up, ready to go in your truck or Gator, ready to plug in and continue your work. Now, because that's just acting like the fuel can, you have your extra fuel source being those batteries ready to go. It's proper planning. We do have an exciting platform that I'm trying to get organized, and that's having a charging station on a trailer that houses all of our battery equipment on chargers, charging while the trailer's parked, because of solar panels on top. So we would capture some solar energy, transfer that into some deep cell batteries, and continue to charge our batteries throughout the day.
So tell us a little bit about that planning project you've got going on.
Well, we have the trailer, and we are crowdfunding for some donations and donor support to buy some solar panels and invest in our batteries, and then expand our fleet of battery operated equipment. So We're doing that through philanthropy with the OSU Foundation. We're very excited about that process and look forward to growing our battery-operated footprint and transitioning more on campus. Right now, we're doing this mainly in the core of campus.
All right. Well, John, thank you so much for sharing
You're
this
welcome.
endeavor with us. And I know homeowners have learned a lot from your experience
I
here.
hope so.
And I look forward to seeing all of that on campus as well. Thank you so much.
Okay.
For more information about OSU's flipping the switch to a brighter orange, check out this website. We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.